Alright, so this is the topic for this video. Understanding market movements. Okay. And as some of you guys already know, the market move up and the market move down. Basically the market move in trends. Uptrends, downtrends. Right? But we're mostly focused on the movement more than trends, which vice versa, it's the same thing. But this is an uptrend, right? The market goes up and it moves like a stairs going up, right? This is a downtrend. All right, so this is when the market is going up, and this is when the market is going down. That's trading basics. Okay, this is a characteristics of an uptrend: a high, a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, until the market starts to do something completely different. All right, so that's basics. Also, we have the market can even do this, move sideways, and we call this, some people call this ranging market or consolidation market, meaning the market is moving. Yes, the market is always moving, but it's not trending. Right? It's moving, but it's not trending. An example of this is current market here and gold. This day today is March the 9th. As you can see here, the market has been ranging or been in consolidation for like almost a week now. So from last week Tuesday, the market made this big drop. Then it was just in consolidation up until this day here. Okay. All right. So basically, when you're trading, you don't want to just trade to trade for trading sake. You want to trade to catch a trend. Basically, you want to trade to catch a trend. You don't trade this, okay? But sometimes you will be in a trade and get trapped in this here, and all you have to do is just wait. But off the bear hand, we wouldn't place a trade here because this is the last high, and clone, this is the last low. So we wouldn't place a trade in this area here. This is a no trade zone because the market has been, just going sideways within this zone. What we want to see is market do something like this, create a higher high, because this is the last high. This gray zone is the last high, 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 high. Right? This is the last high. Let me just jot this down some more. This is the last high. So I want to see a higher high, then market come back to this zone to create a higher low, right? And then we'll place the trade to go back up here. So we need something like this for the market to start trending up, or we need something like this. We already get this push here. We already get a break below this level here. So this is a lower low. So we need something below this area here to go down, because we already made this lower low here. Notice this is lower than this gray zone because this was the last low, right? And now market break through that zone, so we have a lower low. So we have a high and a lower low. So we need market to come below this to even get a sell-off trade, right? Okay. So the market moves in trends. The market is on an uptrend on the higher time frame, right? But on the lower time frame, which in this case is lower time frame is the 4 hour, it's still ranging. So we need some breakout here. Let me just exit, close all of this. So that's simple how the market moves. A high, low, lower high, lower low, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, and then we need some characteristics to go higher, and then simple as that. So this right here is the market, not drawn to scale, but this is close to the current market here for the past month. So as we can see here on the 4 hour, price at a low, at a low here, then market come, this was the last low, then market come, higher high, higher low, higher high, then market come, create a lower low, range a bit, higher high, higher low, and then it starts to trend again. So that's how the market moves. It will go down for a couple of days, hours, then it will trend back up, trend down, range a bit, trend again. But we trade these area here, this box, we would trade this box and clone this in this box here. Okay, we wouldn't trade this because once more price is ranging here or in consolidation here, because it's not creating no higher highs or no higher lows or no lower lows. So market is just in a constant sideways movement. That is unpredictable. This is more predictable, because if market create a higher high, then create a higher low, the probability of it creating a higher high is high. It's very high, right? It's high. So this here is unpredictable. This, a low, a high, equal low, equal high. We're not so sure equal low. We're not so sure what's gonna happen here, because it's not predictable. If you enter a trade here, the market can go lower or it can go higher. That's not predictable. You need something predictable to go off of. Okay, so we don't just trade because of trading sake or to make money sake. You need like reasons to enter the market. Okay, all right, so let's go down to the 1 hour. So as you can see here, the market was trending up. Have a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Then you have a low, lower high. So this is what we're seeing here in the live actual market. This is what happened in January. This is what happened in January. Market was trending up. High, low, higher high, high, low. We trade this. But the moment price failed to make a higher high, you know the trend is changing, right? So price make a higher high here, but then it didn't make a higher low. It create a lower low, which is here. So you know market is the trend is changing here, because the market moves in trends. The trend is changing here. So when you see these signs, that's a sign that, hey, the trend is changing. If you're in a current trade for buy, and the trend is changing, exit that trade. Or if you're not in a trade and you see the trend is changing, prepare for that change of trend. Okay, this lower high here, and then now we have a lower low. We already get the signs here. So the physical market, so this low here, this low is lower than this low. If the market is going up, which it was going up for a month or so, and the market finally create a lower low, that signifies that the market is going in signs, like that's the first sign of market is going down. The trend is changing in the downward position. What confirms this was the highest high. This was the last high. What confirms this is when the market creates a lower high. We would enter a trade for a sell below this level, right? Yeah, because a lower low, lower high. So now the market wants to create a lower low. That's predictable. And in this case, the lower low happened way down here. So this was a big move here. Okay. And let's zoom in a bit. This was the low here, right? And this is a lower high here. How we know the market is changing? Like the market has to remain constant. Lower, low, high, higher, low. Wait, let me repeat. The market has to remain constant. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This is the first sign of the trend changing or the market changing, because this low is higher than this low, and if the market is going down, it's not supposed to create a higher low. That doesn't mean the market is trending down or you should place a buy here. No, that's just the first sign. This was the last high, so to place a buy, you need price to create a higher high than a higher low. You get me? So this is the last low, and this high is higher than this previous high. So now we have confirmation, higher low, higher high, then a higher low. So now we're going to look for a higher high. So the higher high is going to be higher than this high, right? And we place right here would be a perfect spot to place a trade for a buy. Perfect spot at this arrow here. And then we place a trade for a buy and just ride it out. That would be perfect. Okay. And this here up in around 1 a.m. But this is perfect. This is perfect for a buy, and you just ride it out. Simple. Let me just show this. Let's draw it out now. High, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low. Okay, this look a lot, but this right here is exactly how the market moves. Exactly how the market moves. So let's start from over here. So you guys already know this is a low, higher high. This is the last high, higher low. So we place a trade here. We place a buy here because we have a higher low, higher than this low, and this is the last high, higher than this high. This high is higher than this high. This is the higher low. So we place a buy here because that's predictable. Higher low, higher high, higher low. What's gonna come next? Higher high, right? And then we have a higher low, and then we have a higher high, right? Higher low, but this right here is the first sign because this is the last high. This is the last high. Remember, market has been trending up this whole time. This is the last low, last high. Pay attention to this. But now, market creates a lower high, right? This is the last low. That doesn't mean market is selling yet. Market is still trending up. The moment price break below this here, so we have a lower high and then a lower low. Now you know the trend change, because lower high, lower low is when market is trending down. Higher high, higher low is when the market is trending up. Okay, so how we enter this now is when price create a lower low, you need that correction or that pullback in some sense to create that lower high. And once you see price fail to create like a higher high, you know that if it doesn't create a higher high, it's gonna create a higher low. The market has to do something. It has to do something. It's not gonna just stop. It's either going up, going down, or going sideways. And you know you don't trade going sideways because it's not predictable. Right? So now we have this lower high here, but below this level, automatically you know you're gonna get a lower low. Simple as that. And you just continue riding this. So this is the last low, last low, last high, last low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But here things get tricky. We have a lower low, and this we have a lower low and a lower high. Let's say this is the low, this is the low, this is the last low, last high. So yeah, you catch a sell from here, short position. So you catch a sell from here to here. That's good, right? 1 to 3. That's great. That was the last low. The moment you see price break a high, because if the market is trending down, it's not supposed to break a high. It's not supposed to create a higher high in market sense. Market break this high, and now we're in this current spot here. Present moment, we're right here. We're here right now. So we have this previous low all the way down here, right? And market make a higher high. That doesn't mean buy just off this. You need a higher low, because this is the last low. Market actually pull back and create a higher low. That's a great sign. And then now we're not on entry yet, but above this black line here, above the previous high, that's ideally where you'd want to enter, right? Not trying to confuse you guys, but ideally you want to enter above the previous, above the break, like the breakout point, because this point is where the price breakout previously, price breakout here previously. So like back above that point, you don't want to go for a buy. Why? Because sellers are here, and markets, the sellers that are here push the price down. So anything below this level, people are going to automatically want to sell. So with that fact, with that logic there, and the fact that price create a higher high, higher low, yes, that's two confirmation, but you still need to be above these sellers here, because people are going to want to try to sell below this point once more. Let me just create this block so you guys focus here. I don't know, ready. people are gonna still want to try to sell below this red here right here. So what you want to do is buy back above that red area to create a higher high, right? And then see price change, market, the trend change again. So now we have a higher high. Let's just put this back to gray. So now we have a higher high, higher low, and then market just start to trend up again. High, low, and then what I showed you guys earlier, consolidation arranging, which you don't trade because it's not predictable, is something like this until this is the last low. Just put that gray. This is the last low, and then price create a higher low, a lower high, lower low, and then you take a trade here for the sell. Simple as this. Simple as that. Right? And then you just trade the trend once more. Trade the trend once more until notice price is consolidating in this range again. You know, we wouldn't trade that. We wouldn't trade this until price break above this point once more. Bam. So this is the last low, higher high, higher low, and then you would take a buy back above this level, vice versa, and you just do this continually, right? So that's simple right there. That's very easy right there. And now let's go in the physical market. Let's just show you guys what I've done for the past 2 days or so. Today is Monday. I placed that trade Friday, and I'm gonna show you why I placed that trade Friday. So market was trending down, right? Market was trending down. So we have this high. Let me just put this. Let's just put this in a bright color. So we'll focus here. Focus on this blue here. So we have this high here, right? And we have this low here. Bear in mind this low here, right? And price break through this low, right? So that's a lower high because this zone here, this blue line, this first blue line is the high. Now we have a lower low. So we have a high, we have a low here, lower low, right? Now let's extend this blue line. Lower, this is supposed to create a lower high, but it didn't. It didn't create a lower high here. So instead of creating a lower high, it creates a higher low. That's a first sign, just like how I showed you guys previously. That's the first sign I saw. Higher high, right? Price actually break out of that. Let's go down to the 15. Price broke out, and then it come back to that level again to create a higher low. Notice this. Notice this gray line here. This is a low here, and price come back here to that blue zone to create a higher low because this low is higher than this low, right? Good. I went down to the 5. Bear with me, I'm moving quick, but you're gonna catch it because this is gonna just be repetitive. By the end of this course, you guys will be fully versed in market trends, understanding market movement, because yeah, we're gonna dive deeper into this. But I got down to the 5, right? And I saw that this gray line here was my high. My last lot, it was a lower high, right? So I'm like, okay, that's my lower high. That's what I'm working with to enter, right? So price created price create a higher high on the higher time frame. But now on the lower time frame, I want to enter a trade back above this blue line. Remember here, reset 1 hour. Where is this? Remember, like here, you want to enter right back above that current breakout zone. So that's what I did here. Why I'm at this gray zone here is because I need price to break a high on the lower time frame, because key thing in the market, each time frame builds into the higher time frame, into a time frame that's higher than it. For example, this 5 minute, it's gonna build into the 15 minute. The 15 minute, it's gonna build into the 1 hour. The 1 hour is gonna build into the 4 hour. The 4 hour is going to build into the daily, weekly, and I can go on. Okay. So to be more accurate, I went down to the 5 and I saw that, hey, okay, this is the lower high. This is my lower high above that blue line. Because sellers come in here, sellers come in here, sellers come in here, sellers come in here. So I want price to break above that blue line, because if I want to buy, I need price to continually going up. I need price to continually breaking up, breaking highs, breaking sellers. So I wait until price is above this area here, and as you see this green circle, that's where I enter for a buy. I entered around let's say 1:30, and the market closed at 5 o'clock. So I was in that trade for like 2 hours, yeah, around 2 3 hours. But it was a Friday and market closed. And this is a next new thing too. Market closed for the weekend, Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Remember that. And then market open the next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? When market opened, this big candle drop and I lost that trade. Okay? No problem. Losses happen. We're not perfect. So now into this present day here, price drop, market open, and create a lower low. So my focus point is below this area or above this area here. Let's just remove this. My focus point is below this gray area and above this gray area. Why? That's the last high. That's the last low. So anything between this, I'm not gonna trade that. That's just building in to the higher time frame here. Okay, so on the 4 hour it looks a bit cleaner. So we have a high. Let me just show you. We have a high, low, lower high. As you can see, market is consolidating. Lower high. Then we have a low here. Lower high, higher low. Price breakout to create a higher high. That's where I enter. That's where I entered. Then price come, create a lower low. So a lot of confusion in this gray zone here. So I'll create an alarm above this, below this. So what I want to see is price, as I mentioned before, do something like this. The moment price do something like this, I know instantly that price is trending up, and then I'm just gonna take it back up to here. Or price do something like this, right? Or price doesn't even have to do something like this. Once price break below this area, I'm going for a sell if it break out, because this was the high, right? And this is the lower high, right? Price already create a lower low here, lower high. So once price, if price, let me just slow down. This is the last high and lower low here. Price break below this, so this is a lower low. So if price come back up to here, if price come to here and then drop below this level, I'm going to instantly sell, because we already have a high and a lower low, because it's lower than this low and this low. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take it down to here. Hope you guys understand that one. So now I was kind of fast in that, but yeah, any questions just ask. Yeah, that's it.